Carry me over
Discord.
the ground. Everyone hold me down.
Hello, everyone. Hello. I hope you're having a great, great, great 4th of July. It's pretty dry over here. I'm not sure. I haven't, for years and years and years, I haven't really celebrated the 4th of July like that. I've been like working. So I hope.
America's Day.
I don't know how it's, I don't know. I mean, it looks kind of dry. But anyway, welcome to another episode of the PlayStation Culture Podcast. And I will like to start off by saying, listen, if you guys like the content, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share it on Twitter when it goes out there. We would really, really appreciate it. So we're just going to dive right into the actual podcast with introductions. They have we have myself, and then we have Ken, the dishonorable. Ken, how you doing? Oh, that was
I'm
higher
doing
than
good,
normal.
man. What'd you say?
I hit a higher note that time. I'm surprised myself.
Nah, I'm doing good, bro. Just chilling, man.
Good.
America's Day. America.
Merkel.
Independence. This is the land of the free, home of the brave.
Oh, say can you feel
Yo,
my
you know
love?
what's?
Sorry,
I'm gonna be honest with you, yo. I really don't even know the whole anthem, dude.
I don't either. Well, I have more of a oof. I should be better than that. I mean, at least you have different cultures. I'm just black and I still don't know this shit. Black bitch. So
You black bitch.
I should just do it for the stream. Oh, oh, shut up! Sorry. Anyway, we're gonna go into the podcast. We're gonna go into the podcast. What have you been doing lately? What's been going on with you? What have you been playing?
Yo, bro. Oh my God, man. You already know. I've been trying to get this damn platinum trophy, man, in Returnal.
Mm,
Oh my God.
mm,
I've
mm,
been having
mm.
the hardest time trying to get that damn platinum, dude. There's this one xenoglyph in Biome 2 that I am having the hardest time finding, man. And you know what pisses me off is that I freaking found a xenoglyph and it didn't register, man. I don't know. I feel like it was like a glitch or something, bro. I don't know what happened,
Or you could
but
have just dreamt it.
no, fuck that. I
No,
found that shit.
no, you didn't.
I found that shit,
Nope,
man. That was mine. That bitch was mine.
nope, not at all.
Man, they said nope. They hit me with the freaking what do they call it in Call of Duty? Um, the swerve or some shit. I forgot what they called it. Scoopy or I forgot what the hell they call it, man. Where you still a kill from somebody?
Oh,
Um,
I don't know because I don't be playing that shit. Mm-mm.
yeah, I can't remember, but that's what happened to me.
Mm-mm.
I swooped in. I was like, oh, I'm like, damn, look at that shit. And you know what's funny too, man? I sat there for like a minute, 2 minutes, just like I put my controller down. I was like, oh, thank God, I fucking finally found that shit. I put my hands in the air, you know, like Rocky. You know what I'm saying? I did all that shit, and then when I picked it up, it didn't register.
That would infuriate me so bad. But I mean,
Bro,
but
man,
then
I
again, I
oh,
mean,
you know.
I'm used to nonsense. Usually something fucking arises and I lose some sort of progression or something cheap happens. So we got you trying to get the platinum for a Returnal. I fell back from trying to get the platinum from Returnal, but I'm gonna come around to it. I've just been kind of exploring the PlayStation 5 lately. You know what I mean? We haven't gotten many games that utilized ray tracing. I mean, most of the
All those
games.
curves,
Say again.
all those curves.
Those curves. Look at that bitch. No, but I mean, we've gotten games that had great control, yeah, haptic feedbacks and stuff like that, and you know, ray tracing wasn't a thing, so they had Metro Exodus, which is a free upgrade. That had ray tracing. I'm just kind of curious of what it looks like in real time. 'Cause I haven't seen it done in real time, not in front of my face, and I wanted to kind of see how the PS5 reacts to running all them bells and whistles, which,
Yeah.
like anything else, really stayed silent and stuff, which was great. Um, Doom, I played too. Doom, Eternal. I was okay with it. What can I do? It was pretty
Yeah.
good. It wasn't. It was. It was. You know. But one thing I will say, a couple of different things, and then of course Ratchet and Clank. Um, for Metro Exodus, I swear to you, it has some of the best sound that I've heard. Um, Using the Tempest 3D audio. If it's not using it, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. So it makes it,
Some witchcraft.
it's whatever it is. It's consequently, I played the order. They had it on sale for like $10, and that has really good sound stuff too. I don't think it has that. It's close. I don't know why it's close, but it is. Maybe they had like 3D audio back then, but um, you have that going on. But the thing, getting to the point, one of my concerns, yo, Logical, what's going on, yo? What you doing for the 4th of July, man?
Yo, what's goody, bro?
We're just here basically. Low key, I guess it's low key for every fucking body right now. So I was talking about the games that I was playing, and honestly,
Everybody's getting lit for the fourth, man.
man, it's pretty fucking quiet. Yesterday, it was fucking snap, crackle, and pop all day. It wasn't the fucking third, but I guess people thought it was gonna rain. There are some people that were on the side of the road where I live at, and if I wasn't black, I would go over there, but like, what you guys doing here? Hi. But I mean, it kind of looks weird
Yeah.
to just walk up to a stranger, be a hulking black dude. The fuck? We got us a nick. Stop. Anyway, so I was playing. Uh, what I noticed was Ratchet and Clank. I played it again. I'm playing it. I beat it, and I'm playing it again. And I'm gonna honestly tell you, there are a lot of bugs. There are a lot of bugs. Um, I get falling through the level. I get that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it was, when you fight that big ass Tyrannosaurus Rex thing, whatever it is, and when you approach him, you'll get some raritanium, and then he's like the big yellow thing that they had in the promos.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
The
about?
Juggernaut.
Yeah, Juggernaut
Yeah.
thing. I backed up, and at a certain point, he starts to he's snoring coke. Oh shit! I back up, right, and he starts to go into this like little tiny animation loop where it looks like he's like skipping. I'm like, what the fuck? And he'll stay that way until you get to a certain distance. And to me, that's just not acceptable. It really does. Like I think we talked about it a few podcasts ago. It feels like a PS2, 3 game with next generation paint on it. Honestly,
I I ran into some bugs like that in Returnal too, man.
what skipping animations?
Yeah, yeah, or like enemies getting stuck in the polygons and stuff like that.
That's
Um,
regular game stuff. This was like, because you're this far, he has no animation loaded. It unloaded the
uh,
animation.
okay. Nah, I don't know if I could say that.
That's I didn't. Truthfully, it wasn't a glitch. So I don't
Loading
know.
cook.
I mean, they did an update and made the ray tracing better. The game runs better. I mean, just overall, I'm just not having as much fun. I'm just not. I'm trying. Because you got the honeymoon phase that fades off, but I digress. I'm back to playing Returnal. I'm playing Guilty Gear Strive and was getting my ass handed to me.
You got quiet as shit last night.
No. The quiet thing is thinking about. I popped in Returnal because I can autopilot that game. You know what I'm saying? Like if I die, I don't need to think about it. And what I was doing is I was really kind of going over. I was deliberately quiet. I was funny hearing the reactions of everybody, but normally I would get quiet to try to figure out what happened, like what animations, because there's a lot of things, right? Like if you decide to get it, one of the things that you'll notice is that when one of the things that you will notice is blocking. In certain animations that you will see, unless you are aware of it, you know what I'm saying? You don't know whether to block high or low. And because it's a Japanese anime game, their body is completely contort in strange ways where you don't know where they're hitting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you knowing where the hit is coming from is crucial to you not getting fucked up. That's number one. The other thing that's crucial to you not getting fucked up is to make sure the combo persists. And a combo string is you'll see like a counter, and the counter will keep going and going and going as long as you keep you attack fast enough. Now there's stuff that's called like what do you call it, recovery frames and your animation frames and stuff like that. The game will not allow you to do an infinite combo. No fighting game will anymore. So to push you back or push the opponent back, you know what I mean, or will slow you
yeah,
down. Like once you hit, you'll have like a recovery frame, or recovery animation that will take long enough to get you out of that loop of combos. And that's the
yeah,
stuff that you would have to kind of like learn. And this is the strangest one. There is no pre-canned combos. You know what I mean? Like, you know, when you play Tekken, you can just go to the command list and be like, at least I have an idea of what the combos will look like. Nope, there's just nothing like that. So you can really create your own shit. And this game is notorious for creating your own shit. And that's the kicker. You're so used to the limitations that you don't know where to go. You don't know what is allowed and what isn't. And it's literally that. It's exactly that. But I digress. We better get into the topics. Our first topic today, which you will see here, is more standalone games. So Ken and I were kind of talking about um, just how Game Pass worked, you know, for the Xbox, and how they have like a lot of games in rotation, or they have the games coming. And you know, as we were talking, we had like an idea, and the idea was, what if Sony created these standalone games? He said, "Please, please, what?"
he said, "Please, please get into the topics." I think that's what he was. he said, he
So,
said, "Please, man,
nigga,
get into the
your late as
fucking
internets.
topics."
Hold on for a minute. I can't mute it because fucking Nelson keeps doing something. Um, so yeah, we were talking about like, what if Sony had these intermediate steps?
Yo,
You know,
what's good, Umar?
yo, Umar. What if Sony had these intermediate steps where they would make these standalone games? First
He
one,
said, "Correct."
he's logical nonsense. So, um, yeah. So if Sony
What?
says OBS Studio reconnection, like what the fuck is happening?
I'm looking at it right now.
That's annoying. OBS Studio reconnection, like what the fuck is happening? Anyway, so you're on the 4th of July, yeah, of course. I'm in here like a
Yeah,
prison
bro.
inmate, and your ass is oh dear. So what's
On
going
that
on,
grind, bro.
Azizel? So what if Sony made these like intermediate steps where they allow for a part of the team to make these things, little games, like something like uh, Uncharted Lost Legacy or the Forbidden or Frozen Wilds, and then you have the Ghost of Tsushima thing now. Although they decided to package that in together, I'm probably, well, you can buy it by itself if you already have the game. So there's that. What was your take on there? Well, you finally
Managed to get a PS5.
stop.
Yo, that's what's
Pause.
up,
Pause.
Umar.
Pause. When did you? You're telling me you never had a PS5 this whole time?
Yo, I think he said that plenty of times though. To be
I
honest
don't
with
know.
you, in his
He
defense,
was so active in the community. I just didn't know. I thought he already had it. I'm
I
at my
mean,
in-laws. Hope
PlayStation
to be
4,
fair to you.
PlayStation
I do
5. Now I'm
smoking.
saying
All
it's
right,
all the
Jeremy.
same shit. He
What
said
was
at
your
last.
insight of this though? These intermediate steps. 'Cause I know this was kind of like your topic.
Yeah. So here's my thing. Um, And I know we always reiterate this, because this is like a PlayStation culture, PlayStation channel, right? Um, but what I was doing was I was kind of looking at what some people were saying in terms of like, Microsoft, they had a lot of studios already, and that, they were just going to outdo Sony in terms of like putting out content just off of the sheer fact that they have more studios. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
what I was thinking was, and I think this is a trend that we might see more often now, is the fact that um like now that Sony studios are kind of like it seems like Sony, like you mentioned before when we were talking, their studios I believe are a lot more efficient. So and they have a lot of these games and these IPs that are kind of like already built. You know what I'm saying? So what they could do is like what, say for example, like what Insomniac did. You know, they made Miles Morales, which was just a standalone game from the other Spider-Man game, right? Um, but that basically allowed them to put out another piece of content without having to wait 3 to 4 years. You know what I'm saying? For their next game to come out. Another good example is Ghost of Tsushima, right? Ghost of Tsushima, they had that game in production for like 6 years or some shit, a long ass time. I mean, the majority of last generation, right? But now that they have the game out, a lot of people were like, okay, and it just released last year, so a lot of people were like, um, well, we're not going to see anything from them for like another 4 years, And to be honest with you, I can't even be like, yeah, like nah, fuck that, Nah, like logically, if you think about it, like just thinking about how long it takes to develop a game, you could logically deduce that their next game might take another 4 years or some shit. However, what I thought was, um, what if they start doing all of these standalone games, right? So they have the big IP, right? Say Spider-Man, for example, with Insomniac, but then they do like a little spin-off, So then it's not really so much about like, um, well, it's more like you're still getting content from these studios, even though, what I'm saying, you have less of them, without having to wait 3, 4, 5 years for their next game to come out. So, in my opinion, I feel like we might start seeing more of that, just because of, like I said, they have less studios, and their studios are more efficient. I think, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
and you can, yeah, and you can kind of start to see that already. Insomniac with Spider-Man and Ghost of Tsushima with this icky expansion. Even like a few years ago, what I'm saying, they did Uncharted when they released Uncharted 4. They came out with another expansion for that. You know what I'm saying, with the Lost Legacy, and then they came out with The Last of Us Part 2. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, we might start to see some more of these like standalone games to kind of like fill in the space between the bigger games. You know, so then like I mentioned before with Microsoft and their studios, you can kind of like see how maybe Sony can continuously get out content from their major studios, um, without having to wait forever,
And
5 fucking years. You know what I'm saying?
and there's a brief. I mean, let me just jump in there too. If you follow the move of Sony, they're starting to hire more support studios. So to me, it would look like these support studios will. It's like they don't want to buy a shit ton of studios, where you have to give them fucking, I don't know, upwards of 100, 2, 3, $400 million to make a game. Where this game probably cost about like 30 million. You know what I'm saying?
Devil Shooter said what exclusives, bro.
I already, already, what do you call it? You gave it to him. Let me
You
see here.
responded to that, yeah.
Yeah. Umar says the downloads, the installs are fast, adaptive triggers, happy feedback are incredible. The game help activity cards and pins to the side feature are great as well. Okay, yeah, that's the general consensus. It's a extreme quality of life fixed. Um, but yeah, it looks like it's a lot of money to make the types of games that they're making, and this is a nice middle ground that I can see that they're doing, where you can still have a slice of a high quality game somewhere around maybe about like 4 to 8 hours, 4 to 8 hours rather, and still have your cake and eat it. Realize in development you have about, I don't know, 300 people, 300 people, and all 300 people are not working at this, especially when the game is released. once a game is released, they go on vacation, as you already know, right? And then when they get back to work, there's
Mark.
what you say?
House Mark. They said, "Fuck this! I'm going on a vacation."
Oh, well, Housemark, they was like, yeah, this shit's fucking stressful. I don't know, y'all motherfuckers do this shit. Fuck out of here with this. But then who knows? Maybe that Nexus studio is probably going to help them with the whatever next game that they're doing, instead of having Santa Monica and Guerrilla Games and all the other fucking people doing.
Yeah,
You
that's another thing too, which is interesting.
where they can get it off the ground quicker, without degrading the culture of that studio. Because this is what happened to Ben Studio. Okay, I'm gonna parking lot that and go back to what I was saying before. Once you have the vacation, um, you have the preliminary work. You have whether the concept is already like completed or not. You still have, okay. Let me create the new assets for it. Like, let's take the Forbidden West. Someone had to draw up California and stuff like that. And if while they're drawing this up, animators don't work at all. You know what I mean? What are you animating? So they're just basically sitting idle. So it looks like the workflow of what Sony is doing either is to make these standalone games, or to have them help out another studio while the idea gets off the ground. What do you think about that?
I could see that, man. And you mentioned. Oh, and by the way, shout out to everybody who's in the chat right now, man. You guys are awesome
True, yo,
on
y'all
the
could
fourth.
be watching fireworks and eating burgers and getting fat. Y'all here with us. That's
Chilling
interesting.
with us, man. That's what's up, yo.
Thank you.
Hell yeah,
Oh,
man.
wait, I was gonna say this. I'm sorry. Ben Studios got fucked up hiring more people. They mentioned that there were a lot of young people that came in and was complaining and bitching, and they kind of fucked up the culture of the studio. So this is a good way of having a culture without it being diluted with the new blood. But go on.
Yo, what's up, Jemiah? Now I was gonna say, the whole thing because you mentioned the whole thing with the Nexus Studio, right?
Yeah, I
Um,
said hi to Jamal in the
uh,
chat, so just in case. Yeah,
but yeah, obviously there's been a lot of information kind of going around, or speculation, I should say, about the purpose for this Nexus Studio, whatever, right? The fact that they specialize in PC ports and all that type of stuff, right? Which, I mean, honestly, logically, you would think, right, that yeah, I mean, they specialize in doing ports and stuff like that for other games. So, I mean, you could think that you could reasonably assume that that's probably some of the reason why they're there, the purpose. But then at the same time, there was the information that came out about like when Herman Hulst mentioned that they were also helping with the production for Shadowfall, Killzone. So you could also say, well, they could have another purpose as well by helping the other studios build their games and shit like that. Um,
and,
which yeah, to me would make sense too.
and
You know what I'm
some
saying?
and sometimes you may not even have other studios that need help at the moment. Maybe they're up to speed. Should that be the case, they can make these standalone games where you have animators now. Like you have the Icky Island, where at this point in time you already have the modelers creating the new island. You have the monkeys that someone can finally animate and stuff like that. They're off the ground. I mean, pretty fucking efficient. To be clear, you know. Um,
Yeah. He
Nexus. I'm
said
not sure.
Nixus.
I don't
Is
know.
it Nexus?
I
I'm
don't
not
even know
sure.
how to. I don't know how to pronounce
I'm
that
gonna be
shit.
honest with you.
Low key.
I had never heard of these guys, man, until that shit came out on Twitter, yo.
It's funny
They were like,
because
"Yo,
it's
we're
funny
we're we're acquiring a studio." I'm like, "What the fuck is
they
that?"
had YouTube content as well. Why am I itching? Fuck.
Oh, yo, you know what? Umar's right too, man. He brought up the whole thing about them hiring for a game director. Yeah, they could be, man. You
Well,
know what I'm saying? They
here's
could
the
be also
here's the
possible.
thing though with the whole game. Yo, Magnificent Black.
Yeah, what's good, Mac? Black, what's up, bro?
Hey, Black. Hey, Black. Hey, Black.
You malignant bitch.
Ew, ew, ew! Shut up! Shut up! That's a that's an inside joke. You gotta be in the Discord, yo, to get these little nuggets here. Uh,
Shameless plug. Join the Discord if you want to be part of these little inside jokes. The
So,
link is on the page.
so you know, they don't. You don't want to have a studio get real pissed off or get pissy. He's laughing. They get pissy. You know what I'm saying? The same thing happened to that animating studio that was involved with Naughty Dog, where they were like, "Are we gonna make a game?" And then Sony was like, "Nah, nigga, sit down." And then they were like, "We're leaving." You know what I'm saying? So of course they would be given the chance to make their own game as well to kind of keep it fresh, keep the the creative juices flowing. I can see that.
How many people are even part of that studio, man? I'm not even sure.
Unknown.
I'm not even sure. Yeah, because I mean, I would think, right, if they're hiring for a game director as well, and I mean, we don't. To be honest, nobody really, truly knows what they're doing specifically. I mean, you can assume that it's for like PC ports and stuff like that, um, but who knows, man? I mean, they could be doing some other stuff too. I mean, but like anyway, where I was going was, they probably have a sizable team, man. You know what I'm saying? If they have if they're hiring for a game director, um, to work on some shit for themselves and also help with some of the other studios with their smaller projects and shit like that.
It
So,
it'd be interesting to see what they would come up with because didn't they work on that Avenger game? Didn't I see that
what adventure game?
Avenger game?
Oh,
Next,
Avenger. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. They worked a lot
they
with
pulled
Crystal
games off.
Dynamics, like from some of the research that I got into. I think it was Crystal Dynamics and obviously some shit with Square Enix and whatnot. So,
Umar said
but
that
yeah,
they fucking Nelson. I'm trying to read this shit, yo. This shit keep popping up. Let me see here. They have ported games over to the console as well, so they won't port the same. Okay, so they have ported games to other consoles as well, so they could port some PS3 for games to the PS5. This is also true because people were saying this, right? People were saying that this was all for the PC ports, right? Which they did mention about a whole slate of games coming out to the PC. You know what I'm saying? Which we'll get into that topic when we talk about the exclusives matter situation. And we have some interesting stuff to talk about with that. Well, I'm doing
Nelson
nothing.
said, "What am I doing?"
You're not doing anything. It's by notifications going fucking haywire. It's not you. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep it active. uh,
Yeah, man.
but also, this is another thing too. As Umar said, who's to say that they don't take PS3 games and convert them into PS5 games? Who's to say?
Or
I would like to have
because
MotorStorm
I,
on a
I
PS5.
actually,
Honestly, I would love that. Please, yes. Please,
I
yes.
mean, I asked you about this the other day too, man. What if they, or about backwards compatibility if you think that they're going to have it on the platform. Um, and I believe you said no, right? I think you said no.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? I mean, maybe this could be another like sort of avenue for them to start getting games, like say from the PS3, because I believe PS3 was really the holdup when it comes to like porting games over to the newer consoles because of the architecture, things like that.
Yeah, people
So,
need to
I
understand
mean, if
like
they
it's not it's never it's not easy. The way that the PS3 works and the PS4 works is completely different. Completely different. I mean, you had to have everything synced perfectly and you had to write the code. When you create, I said that first. Shut
said
up.
that first,
This
said
nigga.
what first?
It's about them making PS3 games. You did say that though.
Oh, okay.
We were having conversations outside of here, but the funny thing is,
Oh,
the PS3 when you write code, and I've written code before with these new processors, you can just kind of put the code in any order you want, and a computer can figure out what goes what first. With the PS3, you had hundreds of fucking lines of code that you had to like you had to put it in order, or else the PS3 would crash. You know what I mean? And it doesn't do the new
yeah.
processors any better by having it in order anyway. It does it's inconsequential to it. So like it's a whole bunch of different things. I mean, you had a lot of PC work, or excuse me, CPU work to help out the graphics card for the PS3, where it was the opposite with the PS4. It was the graphics card that was kind of helping out with PC commands and stuff like that with the particle systems and stuff like that. It's just not easy. But I think Jim Ryan recently said he said that if the demand is there, we'll look into it. And we already know what the demands are for you know backwards compatible games. It's not that much. Not that that's not a higher demand. Unfortunately,
Hey,
I would love to have that, but
I wanted to mention something really quick, man. That's like a little bit off, actually completely off topic. But the whole acquisition of Housemark, yo, we were prophetic as a motherfucker, like, yo, last week, yo.
oh, you talking about PS3 was also hard to program, but no one was mentioning that. PS2 was hard to program, but a lot of the stuff was so weak. Okay, PS2 was hard because it had the same type of issues in terms of you had to put things in sync, and on top of it, it was able to. How can I put this? It was able to crunch a lot of, throw a lot of shit on the screen at once. It was so fast that basically it would render half of your screen and the other half of the screen in terms of textures. Like one side would be not textured and the other one it would interlace those two. That's how fast it was. It was dumb fast. And these new consoles don't need, or the PS3 didn't need to be that fast. It could just do it all at once. So you had to fundamentally change instead of having it flicker to different textures and stuff like that. You could just put them all at once, but that would require you to rework the programming. It was a little easier because it wasn't that much information to render. But PS2 is still fucking difficult to render on the PCs because of that. It's not that it's hard. It's just that there's no need to have it that fast, and that was this way of working around the system and stuff like that. But yeah, we were prophetic as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Uh,
Yeah,
we
we
just was
really were
like,
though.
we were like, yo, it'll be interesting to talk about the exclusives and shit like that. You know what I mean? What it would mean, and then all of a sudden they were like, welcome. I don't like the fact that they said welcome to the family, yo. That's so Xbox to me. That felt dirty to me when I read that. I was like,
Yo,
ugh.
yeah, for those of you who were here last week, we were talking about that shit, yo. And I remember specifically saying that I believe personally that Sony had already acquired Bluepoint, and now there's information that, kind of showing that they probably already purchased them. So prophetic as a motherfucker.
You know what? We're on to the next subject. Do we have anything else to talk about?
Nah, nah, I think we pretty much covered it for this one.
All right,
Um,
I'm gonna shoot. I'm gonna pass the ball to you, yo. You do the layup.
all right, so yeah, moving on to the next topic. So the next topic we're gonna get into is exclusives matter. Um, how did we even kind of get onto this, man? I think it was we were just talking about like at the time like a couple of years ago, there was a lot of information, or not information, but a lot of rhetoric kind of going around that exclusives don't matter and all of this type of shit, right? Um, you know, it wasn't really about exclusives. It was all about multi-platform games, and even at one point, man, a lot of people were saying that uh we should have a world where all games are on all platforms. And bro, I remember one time I even had this one dude who was like, yeah, it's all about exclusives don't matter, it's all about services. I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? But
Like,
obviously
what
that's
world are
not
we
the
living
case.
in? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
What are you
you know what
talking
I'm saying?
about?
Yeah, it makes absolutely no sense. I mean, no matter how you
Whose
fucking
volume
slice
is
it, look
low?
at it.
Is it mine? Let me see. Testing. It is low. Oh, you know what?
Is it yours or mine?
It's probably mine. Testing.
He said,
Testing.
run Clint Eastwood."
Testing. 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 Wait, hold on. I got you. I got you, bitch. All right, testing. Or maybe
I
not.
got you, batch.
Did it get louder?
Yeah,
Hello.
I'm guessing. I don't know.
There's
I mean,
desktop volume. There's audio output.
yeah. I mean, I can hear
I'm
you
gonna.
fine, man. I guess then it's not coming through for them.
All right, testing.
PS2. Umar said PS2 had the advantage of coming out 20 months before the Xbox and GameCube. If the PS3 had managed to come out before the 360, it would have been a different story. You got something to say about that? He said overall volume is so low. Uh, I don't know, man. It sounds like it's coming through pretty good, man, on my end. But
He said, "That's better." Jesus.
okay, all right, cool. Because they cut development time in half and it showed. Facts, bro. Um, what was I saying? Uh,
You were saying about there was a gentleman that said that it was services that matter over exclusives.
yeah, yep, that's what it was. Yep, and that yeah, that's what I was gonna say. No matter how you slice it, no matter how you cut it, you know what I'm saying? Some kind of exclusivity matters. You know what I'm saying? Even if you look at some of these Fortune 500 companies and all this shit, man. Um, in some way or another, they have something exclusive to offer. You know what I'm saying? In some way. Even if whether it's you're selling a product, you're selling a service, whatever the fuck you're selling, you have to have something that differentiates you from your competition.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, just point blank exclusives fucking matter. You know what I'm saying? Do you have anything to say about it?
Well, my specific reasoning for coming up with this subject is, let's be honest here, right?
What's good, Watcher?
Um, I'm gonna read my notes here because I was writing it down as I was talking to Ken as we were talking on the phone as he was getting his ass beat in Returnal. Uh,
Yo, I was
motherfucker,
getting my ass handed to
he
me,
was
yo.
raging. Rah! I owe you nothing. This dude
They
was mad.
fucking threw this goddamn fucking group gorilla at me. Fuck.
I did. They put another gorilla in it. Why you keep doing that? So,
Yo, them motherfuckers put me in like 3 different lockdowns, bro. What the fuck, man?
so my question is about exclusives, right? And how Sony handles it. So there's two parts to this. As you see, all a lot of games like Tekken 6, Final Fantasy, Devil May Cry, Virtua Fighter would have stayed a PS3 exclusive instead of it going to 360 as well. So my whole thing is this: people claim that they want to live in a utopian world where fucking you have one console that does all the games. But I threw this question to Ken. A Ken answer was interesting, which I'll say it again, and you can kind of elaborate. If Nintendo went third party and just released their shit everywhere, but kept the
Oh,
same
yeah.
quality, would it cheapen them for doing that? That's the question. And Ken said yes, it would cheapen them, and I am in agreement with that. It would cheapen it, you know, because the way that I look at it, and I'm gonna say this, and if you've never seen this show before, I'm a vulgar nigga. So let's just say, for all the heterosexuals out here, right? You had a wife, or have a wife, right? And she did your laundry, she cooked for you, she gave you sex anytime you needed it. She took care of the kids, she made peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for everybody. You know what I mean? She didn't complain, bicker, did nothing. She was the absolute perfect wife. Perfect, right? But you knew that you were in a polyamorous relationship and she was fucking other dudes and would come home and still do those things, right? A wife.
A wife.
Would that cheapen her experience? Would that cheapen the relationship? Even though she's doing all of those things, right? But she's still for the streets. I mean, yeah, that's nice, but you'd be like, nah, I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that. I don't care what you're doing. And if what it boils down is to, there's a primal There's a primal thing that snaps in your head when it comes to things that are exclusive. You associate that thing with yourself, and you're
Yeah.
selfish, and you don't want to share the shit at all. You don't want to share it because that affects you, your mentality. This is why Nintendo is consistently exclusive. If Nintendo was everywhere and all around, you have some interesting comparisons. If Nintendo was all around and you could get it on PC, Xbox, PlayStation, phones, everywhere, it just wouldn't feel the same. I'm
That
going to
pussy
be.
would be beat the fuck up.
What you say?
I said that pussy would be beat the fuck up.
I would say this, stupid. I would say this, right? I ain't gonna lie. When Sony acquired Housemark, yo, the game looked better to me, and it was more fun to play. I don't know. That's how I felt. That's how I felt. You know, sue me.
Fuck you.
Fuck it.
Fuck you. That's how I felt.
That's how I felt. To me, it just felt better because it was exclusive. It was in my camp, which I associate with PlayStation. I'm a fanboy. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? But that brings up a very interesting roast beef sandwiches. That brings up an interesting topic though, because Sony is seemingly doing some sort of hybrid thing. And I asked Ken also, is a timed exclusive still exclusive? What do you guys think?
That is very, yeah, I think that is interesting, man. You know, because when it's funny because when you start getting into like things like timed exclusives, console, quote unquote console exclusives, man. It's a little, it's like a word game at that point, man. You're playing semantics, you know,
But I don't
and
feel
it,
like
and
it
all,
is though. Like I feel like a timed exclusive is still exclusive though. It's not the way that you wanted it, but it's still exclusive for that time frame.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know because it's not really like it's
It's
exclusive
not
until
right,
it's not exclusive.
but
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like if you get like a whatever the fuck, I don't know, God of War or some shit, which we already know Sony's put in fucking their games on PC or whatever, right? But when that game came out, man, you knew that that game was going to be exclusive to PlayStation, right? Just it wasn't going anywhere else. Like that was your thought pattern, you know. When you get a game like Deathloop, for example, that's a timed exclusive. You know, yeah, by definition, you know what I'm saying, it is exclusive to your platform, but or at least for a time frame. But then it's exclusive until it's not exclusive, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I personally I don't myself I don't really consider it to be exclusive. You know what I'm saying?
But what about the
By
effects?
definition it
But
is.
what about the effects, right? If Breath of the Wild, and you know you love Breath of the Wild, right? If Breath of the Wild
Absolutely.
came out on the PlayStation 8, would you care at that point?
Well, I mean, at that point, I mean, it's an old as a game, so probably not, to be honest with you.
That's see, Sony's playing with shit. You know what I'm saying? Sony, it's a different.
I mean,
They're
it's an
in
old ass
they,
game now.
they're in some uncharted territory. And let me just read the comments here. We all got to see PlayStation from Ken Kutaragi point of view when we look at PlayStation games. We all got to see the big. We all got to see the bigger picture. What do you mean by that, Watcher? I think Sony is preparing for the future where they have to change past consoles into the future. Exclusive can have a
I
limited time, but
I
yeah,
absolutely believe that. Yeah.
there is a different feeling when you know you have something and the other one does make you feel satisfied, proud about your purchase. Yes, it does. It does. I'm tired of like you look at the fucking community. I'm tired of the fronting. I'm tired of the fronting. You know what I mean? This agnostic, I don't care, kumbaya, I love it. No. As a human, you want things to yourself. Period.
People are selfish, man. I mean, really.
The thing is, you guys need to remember the PlayStation 3, that was going to be the end of all console gaming, as according to everybody, the PS3 and 360 era. When that got long in the tooth, there was little to no hope for the PS4 and Xbox One. Little to no hope. So it was almost like a fluke when the PS4 came out the gate swinging so hard, and then a couple years later, the Switch came out and continued that swinging. It invigorated the industry. You know what I'm saying? And people were like, "Oh shit!" I think what Sony is doing, and I will say this, me and Ken spoke about this, is that Sony is preemptively doing things just in case this shit happens again.
That's what I think too.
They're moving their stuff to the PC. No, it's not going to be day and date, but they're moving it to the PC just in case if the fucking console industry fails. You know what I'm saying?
I think so.
That's part one of it. Part two of it is these games are fucking expensive. I got into you say Nintendo only do it for the money. Everyone do it for the money. Yeah, everyone does it for the money. So I got into it with J Tech TV on Twitter. Not an argument, but just a discussion. And what I ended up saying to him is, what does it matter to you that they're releasing things? And he goes, because a lot of ponies make this excuse. They always do this shit that pisses me off. Keep it 100. Oh, what's going to devalue the brand? It's going to make. What's the point of having a piece with a PlayStation if it's going to? No, you just don't want nobody to have it because ultimately there's a lot of casual players on the console that if you were Thanos snapped the hardcore people, it would make little difference. You know what I mean? It would make little difference if you were to go all that noise on Twitter. Little difference. Little difference. The whole thing is this, and I was like, he was like, well, you asked me. He said, riddle me this. How much did they sell on a PC?
I mean,
Um,
really, at the end of the day, in terms of like the whole PC stuff, man. I mean, them getting more than what they had is a win. You know what I'm saying?
that's what I'm saying. He goes ahead, and I'll let you do that. I'm sorry. I wanted to.
Nah, go ahead,
It's
bro.
cool.
Do your
The
thing.
the thing is, he says, how much did they sell on PC? Well, A, we don't know the numbers for PC. But what we do know is that it was more than what they had if they didn't do it. That's what we do know. And no matter how minuscule the number is, it doesn't fucking matter. It's still more money. It could have been $5 extra. If that's what it was, that's what it was. It's more money. And these companies are all about the money. Fighting games such as Guilty Gear
Ooh,
Strive and Tekken and Street Fighter are all released on PC. It does not flourish on PC. It flourishes on the consoles. Why did they put it on
yo,
PC?
Umar said, I don't see PlayStation consoles failing or going away anytime soon. It seems a bit too early to prepare for that. Cloud gaming is still far away. You know what, man? Yeah, I agree with that. But at the same time, I also do believe that I think Sony sees the value in preparing for that possibility. You
Well,
know what I'm saying?
that's why I was saying there's two pieces. It's the
Yeah.
preparation, and it's fucking these games are expensive. Any little bit of money they get, it could have been fucking $100 million that they got. It's not almost a billion, but it could have been 50 million. That could go to a budget that they didn't have before. You know what I'm saying? And Sony is known for quality. They put themselves in that position.
They did.
If Sony slips up, they be like, "What the fuck, Sony? What happened? This game was sick. Look what happened to the Order 1886. Beautiful game. That game got
They have
shitted on.
no room for error, yo. No margin for error, dude. They have to fucking be
How,
on their A game all the time.
how do you think they're going to get that money? Not everybody likes those types of games, but it does. It becomes a tourist attraction for anybody that picks up the console. All right, you got it. You got the subject. I said everything I needed to say.
No, no, I agree with you, man. You know, um, yeah. I mean, you pretty much covered that shit, bro. I mean, yeah. I think I do agree with you, man. I do feel like at the core, man, people just kind of want this shit to be theirs. You know what I'm saying? They want to know that they have something that they own that is theirs. You know, it's exclusive to whatever it is that they're participating with it on. You know what I'm saying? Um, because really when you look at it in terms of like the numbers and the numeric side of it, I mean, like for example, Sony's made more money than they've ever made ever. You know what I'm saying? And they've been releasing their games on PC and stuff like that. So it's like, will it devalue the brand? I mean, no, in terms of like how much money and how much profit they make, um but yeah, I mean, there still is like this, like you said, I believe, an instinct that you just don't want to share your shit. You know what I'm saying? You want it to yourself. And I feel the same way, bro. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. You know? And I told you this before, man. I honestly I don't really agree with the whole thing, games going to PC. And I game on my PC, man. It is what it is. I got one. I could play the shit if I want to. But that's not the point. You know what I'm saying? I bought the fucking console because I want to play what they have on the console. You know what I'm saying? Point blank, you know? It is what it is. I mean, I can admit that shit.
It's hard. It was well. You gotta tell the truth and shame the devil. It was hard for you to kind of say it, just say it. I mean, you said you were selfish, but you didn't get into why. You know what I mean? I give you that actually. You know, you did say I was selfish, and that really needs little introduction or a little explanation to what that is.
I'm a selfish bitch.
I'm a selfish bitch. And stuff. So,
Bitch.
I mean, the reason why, as a fan of PlayStation, the reason why it doesn't affect me that much, it does.
I'm high step PC is forever.
Man, I saw that shit, man. I said nope.
He said, "Fuck that."
I let that chat keep scrolling. I said, mm-mm. But I will say this, right? I've had it happen to me before. When I was in my young teenage years, Tomb Raider went to PC. It was a cross platform with PC. And I'm like, well, I'll never be able to afford a PC back then. But then I was like, if I did afford a PC, if I could afford a PC, I still would have picked the PlayStation. But then it happened again. The Tomb Raider Last Revelation and Tomb Raider Chronicles released on the fucking Dreamcast. And so did fucking Legacy of King Soul Reaver 1 and 2. I'm like, what the fuck? And then it finally moved on to the PS2, and then, okay, fine. We had Metal Gear Solid, and that was a timed exclusive. And that timed exclusive went to Xbox. It was horribly ported. I was like, whatever. I already got my thing. And Metal Gear Solid 3 wasn't ported on there either. So, and then fucking Silent Hill was, and fuck that game up. So I have a history, my point is, of this shit happening. You know what I'm saying? So, it just very...
So you said, "Yo, Resident Evil is going to fucking PC. Fuck that shit. I'm sticking with Silent Hill. Silent Hill goes to PC. Fuck."
I was like, ew, 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 you bitch. I was mad as hell, man. I was fucking furious.
Yeah.
So, I want Nintendo games on PlayStation. Oh, you chose violence.
You know what? Look, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I like the games being on their consoles, but bro, fuck, man, they need to get better hardware, bro. I'm so tired of playing
It's like
Zelda
when you want
25 frames.
I know this is a PlayStation channel, but when this is what Nintendo did, yo. This is the price for exclusivity, right? You want that shit exclusive, you gonna have to pay. You have to buy a whole fucking console that is extremely limited. Fucking Breath of the Wild was struggling to run at 30 frames per second, especially during that forest area when it rained. Tanks the frame
Logical
rate.
said 30 a no-go. It's 30 is uncharted territory on the side.
But it's like it's sub 30. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem, and Nintendo fans are just like, oh, it's so good. You see when he goes into a cold environment, he does that little cute wiggle. It's that Nintendo toy. No.
Why is PS4 games going to PC any different? Yeah, yeah, he mentioned about PS1 and PS2 games going to PC as well. Yeah, that's true, definitely.
No, why are
And
PC games going to PC any different? It isn't. But when you throw the time exclusivity, that changes the game a little. Because as I asked Ken, if Breath of the Wild was released on the PlayStation 7, if Nintendo said fuck it, we're just going multi-platform and release the Breath of the Wild on PlayStation 7, who gives a fuck? Who would care? And Sony is dancing this dance to see what is acceptable time frame to keep their ecosystem from collapsing.
Jemai is stupid,
We probably are in a simulation, but we won't go there. Umar,
Yeah,
he
but
says there was still plenty of third party games that stayed exclusive to PS1 and 2. When the third party saw the fallout of PS3 and how everybody was jumping ship like it was the Titanic, man, they were like, "Oh no, we gotta make our preparation. No, we're good." I remember when I don't know what the fuck his name is, but he went on stage with the fucking Grand Theft Auto tattoo, yo, and a fake tattoo, and showed that shit, and everybody went crazy. And then Final Fantasy 13 was on there, and I had this Xbox call me. I used to be friends with him on my phone talking about something. Yo, you see that? You like Final Fantasy? Well, Final Fantasy is going bye bye. I was like, bro, we still have it though. Oh, what do you mean? So
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right, man. I mean, you were asking me, like if some of the games went to PC or whatever, right? Would it really affect the experience in terms of like you being able to play it and you still having access to it? And it's like, no, not necessarily. But then, like I said, it kind of goes into that territory of like, dude, like I want this shit. This shit is mine, yo. You know what I'm saying? And just knowing that it is something that you can kind of like claim as an exclusive piece of content or whatever, it's cool. It's a cool feeling. It is what it is, bro.
yeah, I feel like I'm well. I'll say this, and I'm all drained out from this subject. We talked about it ad nauseum, and I feel like this really went well in terms of there was a lot
Yeah.
to kind of unfold with this subject. But I will say this: it's like I feel like social media just takes one thing and just blows it out of proportion and makes it look so much worse than what it is. I mean,
He
motherfuckers
said I'm fine with my wife being exclusive to me and my son. The fuck kind of incest shit you got going on over there?
See, and y'all think I'm bad, yo. All I am is the medium to you guys, yo. I'm just spouting off. I feel the vibes, and I'll say things that the feelings. This is y'all fucked up. Y'all told me y'all making me the puppeteer and shit. So let me see here. Well, exclusives are meant to bring people to the platform and stay
True,
on it. Yeah, and
true.
but if it's coming out every
And
2 years, you know what I'm saying, or certain recognize this, right? Like I said, social media blows this shit out of proportion. People argue back and forth, and everybody wants to be right on the internet, and that's what's causing the big issue. But 2 years is pretty long. If Sony keeps that 2 year thing, you know, and people are mad. Well, how come Days Gone isn't widescreen? Cause fucking TVs aren't widescreen, bitch. Like, what are you talking about? They give you like 60 frames off the rip, and now you're talking
yeah,
about some widescreen. Do you even care about widescreen? They don't care about us. As it stands, 2 years is a long time. And if they keep that 2 year mark, and not every game will go to the PC. You know what I mean? I don't think Ratchet and Clank will go to the PC because it's just not a PC type game. I just don't think it would. If it goes, it goes. But it's not about being a fanboy. It's about in general. Like I don't think it's PC friendly to go on there. Hey, there's certain games like RPGs or racing games that would, but not that.
I think some people are kind of blowing this shit out of proportion, man, because a lot of people are saying like, yo, all I keep seeing people say like PS5 games are going to PC and all this type of shit. And I'm like, I don't understand where you're getting this shit from. You know what I'm saying? Um, I know Sony, they put, their PS some of their PS4 put some of their fucking PS4 games.
You okay there?
I'm having a seizure over here, man. Yeah, yeah, that's exactly what's happening. On PC, man. But for some reason, people think that they're just gonna like automatically just drop every single fucking PS5
Every
game
single
on
one.
PC. Like, yeah, like no, that's not what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't, like you mentioned before, man. They didn't invest this much into their console, to just do that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Like a
It
game,
just it wouldn't make any sense.
like a game like Gravity Rush is not going to PC. It's not. It's not. And it's not PC friendly. You know what I'm saying? And then he makes a good point. Metal Gear Solid 4 still isn't on any platform but PS3. And you're saying it could, but the whole argument is what I wanted to say this, but to me it would be too ambiguous. But like, what is actually an exclusive? Like, what is an exclusive? Timed exclusive? Is that still considered exclusive? Console exclusive? Is that still considered exclusive? I'm not making an argument because of what Microsoft is doing. I'm literally asking that question or asked that question across the board.
People thinking PC can play PS5 games are going to be very disappointed. Oh, can't play PS5 games. I was about to say like the what the fuck.
PC can play any game. Is it worth the
Yeah,
money to port it over if it's not going to sell? You know what I mean? The big blockbuster games are probably going to go. But I'm all talked out. I have nothing to say more to this.
yeah. I was getting ready to say if you had anything else, we can kind of move on to the next topic. I could toss it back over to you
Cool.
if you had anything.
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I just we want to enlighten you on just thinking outside the box. You know what I'm saying? Normalize
Just
the
our
word.
perspective on this shit.
Normalize the word fanboy. It's not that bad. It's, you
Don't,
know.
but you gotta be a logical fanboy. You can't be an illogical fanboy.
Yeah, you
You don't
gotta.
want to be one of them.
You don't want to be an Xbot. That's illogical.
Yeah, you don't want to be that shit.
You know that's
Nobody wants to be that
illogical. That's
shit.
illogical nonsense. There are no exclusives for consoles.
Wide eye emoji.
Yeah, I know, right? You know that's the thing. Like it you know it's not wrong to be human. You know that's like sex is dirty. I don't like sex. You know what I mean? But that's a part of human. Like I feel like that's where we're going. Like people complain about dumb shit. You know what I mean? Or just want to look right in the eyes of social media. Shut the fuck up. Moving on to normalize bending the knee to the PC master race. Jeremiah
This
is the type of
nigga, yo.
guy that if he had a wife, he would just watch her get fucked by like a bull. Uh, moving on to our next subject. Uh,
But then again, he did say he was okay with getting his dick swallowed and chopped up from some chick's vagina.
oh yeah, he did.
He'd swallow that shit.
Oh dear. Oh no. What's that one song? Oh no.
Oh
Oh no.
my.
Oh my. That's what
He said,
PC
I like that shit.
that's what PC master races are, yo. They're fucking cucks, yo. You waiting for us to blow our loads in the fucking game and give it back to you. Anyway, so for the players, the next subject.
You gonna
For
eat that?
you're gonna eat that. That was low. Oh, you're gonna eat that, bitch. So, for the players or for the payers, this is very interesting because there is a lot of negative rhetoric for there was a lot of negative rhetoric for PlayStation and how and I want to kind of mash this into this subject that they treat their indies like shit.
The
They're,
whole ND thing.
they're
Yeah.
fucking what else is Sony doing that's so ridiculous? Oh, I'm sorry. All DLC should be free, no matter how big the fucking Miles Morales should have been absolutely fucking free. I'm for the payer for great content. Facts, logical.
Yeah.
The whole Ghost of Tsushima should have been free. Miles Morales should have been free. What else should be free? Fucking Lost Legacy should be free. All DLC should be just all of it free. And if you dare try to charge money, if you dare try
Centaur.
to, I was looking at what he was saying. If you dare try to charge money for your hard-earned work, you are anti-consumer. Could you imagine at your place of work, your manager, and I think Six said this shit too. Your manager asked you, right? Yeah, I'm gonna need you to get this, and that done. Yo, what's going on, Pobs?
What's good? What's good, motherfucker?
Ew, ew, ew! Shut up! I have to say that. He'd be like, "What the fuck?" I can hear him right now. Haters need to know why 120 million PS4s
Hey,
pay to
games.
play. Yeah. So here's the thing. I'm gonna pass this because I was talking the last time like a shit ton for that one. So here's the thing, right? Could you imagine your employer asking you, "Yeah, I'm gonna need you to do all of this, and I feel like you need to do this, and we don't have to pay you because at least you work for us." Pablo, what's good, homie?
What's good, yo?
Alright, so is it okay if I join? I'm not a pony or anything, but
Look at this nigga, yo, fucking in the
Shut
distance.
your ass up, motherfucker.
I can say it. I can say it now. Ew, ew, ew! Shut up! Shut up!
He said, "On God, on God."
Oh God! Oh God! Dead ass.
look at this setup I got right now, man. I'm at work right now. I'm out here. I'm out here gaming. You know what I'm saying? At work.
I'm gonna get the Switch. Okay.
You out here gaming at work.
He's another.
You better be playing that Zelda.
He's another cuckman. Mm-mm-mm.
So what's the topics, gentlemen?
The topic is for the payers or for the players. That's what the topic is.
I'm done. Niggas are trying to say.
Yeah, no, yo, but like legit, man. These motherfuckers are out here like really thinking that they should get everything for free. It's like,
Oh man. Is this about that post that gentleman made on Reset Era over games not being on Game Pass that he's not gonna play unless it's on there?
Well, it could be. It
Or
could
is
be. No, it could be because I did see
yeah,
it
not
before.
directly.
I saw it before, but the subjects were already made. So, Ken and Pablo, like here's the issue, right? Why not? Like I don't understand. What is the issue for paying for your games when we've been doing it for like 30 years, 30 plus years?
Yeah.
Like when did this
I don't
become a
know.
thing
Game
where?
Pass kind of got them conditioned and shit, like into thinking like everything should be like free, and it's not even free.
It's not even fucking free. That's the thing that kills me, dude. Is this shit's not even free, yo.
You know what it is? Like, there's a misconception about it because like people think that they're paying $1 every month. Like that's only a special offer. Like after that month is over, bro, you paying 15 a month, my guy. Like you're not getting shit for free. It's just you're just getting a lot of games bundled in for like $15. That you can say that, but for free, you're not getting shit. Nothing in this world is free, man. And if it was, I'd be fucking J-Lo right now.
Someone said this on Twitter, right? They said if something's given to you for free, you're the product. I said,
Yeah.
I mean, I know maybe it was a parody, but that shit was still facts. Because if they're making you an advertisement, you are the fucking. That's why it's free because you're advertising this shit. And just look at the shit. Somebody, as you mentioned on Reset Era, talk about some
panel.
What you say?
No, I was just reading Black's comment.
These services are making people feel lazy and paying full price. They will, like, but the thing is, I'm my girl's product. This is true. This is true. You buying her all sorts of shit. But here's the thing, right? Somebody said on Reset Era that they didn't want to buy Scarlet Nexus because they are waiting for it to go out on Game Pass. And then they had a nerve to ask, like, is that wrong? Once again, social media has taken one thing because they're the squeakiest wheel on social media, on Twitter, and they're making it seem way worse. If that was the case, fucking Outrider wouldn't have sold on PS. 80% of the fucking game sales went to PS5. If the Game Pass was so great, you know what I mean? And then the games don't even fucking stay on the fucking platform, you know what I mean? They expire eventually.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't really. I mean, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like some people they've sort of like been conditioned by having access to all of these games or whatever, like on Game Pass and all that type of shit, right? Um, I'm really not trying to make this shit about Game Pass, dude. I feel like we talk about that shit way too much, man.
I
But
mean, if it relegates to Game Pass,
but
the thing is, it's like
well, no. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's not. It's not that I don't really want to. Like I'm afraid to talk about it. It's just that I feel like when we do talk about it, it just puts the narrative and the ball in Microsoft's court. You know what I'm saying? And like people are always talking about like, um, just fucking PlayStation fans hate on the shit just because they don't like the shit or they don't have it. It's like, no, I mean, no. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I,
we
I
do
just don't
have it.
really
It's
want to.
called PlayStation Now. We have it already, and I don't have
Yeah.
it. If you have to wait for Scarlet Nexus to be released on the play on Game Pass, that means that it's not doing what it's intended to do, which is to be day and date. Now they said that their game is going to be day and date. I get it, but what's the difference at this point? You know what I mean? Because Microsoft hasn't released games like that on their own fucking games yet. So we can't even talk about that until they do.
It's a PC exclusive. Shut the fuck up.
It's annoying. It's annoying that
It's a little bit annoying.
the
It is.
entitled.
It really is.
Going back to for the payers, yo, I just couldn't believe it. People were really upset. Like Miles Morales, when that fucking shit came out, people were pissed off about paying for that. Oh, it's DLC. I can't believe it. Why I gotta pay this? It's $70. It's 2 games in one. Well, who said send pics? This nigga. uh,
I got you. I got you right now.
people were just complaining
I
about
got you,
Miles.
homie.
They were complaining about Miles Morales and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and that one was kind of handled weird. And I feel like they were trying to maximize it and just come up with a. They really didn't need to do that with Miles Morales, though. Miles Morales was a pretty complete game, and it's more enjoyable than the 2018 Spider-Man. Like, it feels way
I
better.
really
to
do
play.
think that it. I think so too. I think it actually does some stuff better than the original game. Part of me feels like it's done better because of things like the controller and the haptics and stuff like that. So, it just doesn't feel the same on the other one. It just doesn't fucking feel the same. It doesn't feel as
He,
impactful. Even when you swing around the city and shit, like you could feel the resistance on the triggers and all that type of stuff. So, yeah,
I'm not even going to talk about that or ray tracing. Just the fundamental game is better. You know what I mean? And it's a decent length as well. I mean, one could say that the storyline is whatever, but like, you know, to me, there was a lot of. It was 2018 went on a little long, too long for me. You know what I mean?
yeah. Nelson said there's less filler. Yeah, facts.
You know, it was a great standalone game. But you know, you look at the Lost Legacy, and that game was what it was. You know what I'm saying? Aloy, the boy toy, pre-order exclusive. This nigga. But it was. But Lost Legacy. You know, and that was a standalone game. That was great. Uh, Review wise, I haven't played it. And then
You
you
just
have,
like Chloe, man. That's all it is.
huh?
You like that ass.
I haven't
You just
played
like
it.
Chloe's ass.
I haven't played it. I don't know nothing about that.
You watched
Something
that
that
shit
no
on
longer
fucking YouTube.
exists besides Nintendo can't matter. What are you talking about? Aloy, I want you to nose me. We're in our fucking red bacon strip. So, so, I mean, you look at this shit, and I cannot believe this is where we're at right now. We're really at. I don't want to pay for games anymore. And this wasn't about Game Pass. People were just saying that it shouldn't have cost anything. That it was a
Yeah.
ripoff. And I'm like, did they not just give you a 60 frames per second like boost in the game just off rip if you have a PS5? Did they not just give you and okay, so you may not have a PS5. Did you not get a fucking full-fledged co-op game? Did that not happen at all for free? Did you forget about that?
Yeah, I wanted to bring I wanted to bring up this whole thing with Ghost of Tsushima, man, because I know that's kind of been like a lot of these motherfuckers been holding the line with that fucking game, yo. When they announced the Icky DLC or whatever, but these people are fucking complaining about the fact that you have to pay $70 for the director's cut version of the game. I want to fucking remind people, dude. You know what I'm saying? And mind you, this is for people who have never played the game before. If you own the game, you do not have to fucking pay the $70 or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? They are giving you not only the base game with all of the deluxe DLC with the game, they're also bundling in the fucking multiplayer, which wasn't in the original game. They gave you that shit for free. And then on top of that, they're giving you the DLC as well. You know what I'm saying? As well as all of the upgraded features for the PS5 and the haptics and all of the 3D audio and all that bullshit, man. I don't think it's unreasonable, man. I don't think it is.
It's not unreasonable. It's not fucking going to be free. Somebody took their hard earned time and crafted that shit and animated that shit and balanced that shit. Somebody did that. And you're asking them to give it to you for fucking free. Are you serious right now? You want to talk about crunch? You want to bitch about crunch? Oh, they shouldn't do this and this. Stop them from crunching by buying their fucking shit. How about you do that? Why don't you do that?
Pay for more help.
Motherfuckers
You know what? I
giving you
will say
free
this though.
shit. Get on.
I will say this though, man. The way that they're doing the pricing is a little bit weird and a bit confusing to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that they put out that information that, like if okay, so if you want to buy the game, if you've never owned the game, it's $70 with all the shit in it, right? But then to me it gets a little confusing when it gets into the people who've already bought the game. Um, like if you have the PS4 version, you spend I forgot how you spend like $30 or something like that, $20 to get the director's cut, and then what you pay another $10 on top of that for the PS5. Like I don't know, like that shit was kind of weird to me. I don't. It's
The
confusing
problem the
too.
problem that broke it apart, right, is this. It's not visible in the store as two separate items. You have to really dig into it to find out what it is. Once you start doing your research, the actual standalone portion of it is $20 for the PS4 version, and there's no PS5 version to be seen, right? Upon reading this, they say that you would buy the PS4 version, and then since it's not on the store, then you would upgrade the PS4 version for $10 extra, which we're not even sure if that will work. I haven't even downloaded the game because if I do that, I forfeit the fucking game. I don't even want to touch it that way. But yeah, but the bullshit. Like why Sony? Why is it sloppy like this?
So does that mean if you want it, because they gave us a like a 60 frame patch for Ghost of Tsushima when
But that
when
was
the
a patch.
PS5
That's
dropped
not
a
a
little bit later.
store item though.
I know, but my why I find it confusing is they gave you the patch for free, right? For the 60 frames, right? But what they're telling you is that they want to give you the PS4 version for $20, right? So does that mean are they going to give you the option to like play with the 60 frames and all that type of shit, right? Just with the PS4 version, or like what exactly are you getting with the PS5 version when you pay
All
that
right.
extra ten
So the
dollars?
only thing that you get with the PS4 version, should you have the game, is the standalone island. If you do not have the game, right? Because the co-op was free if you bought it digitally, and you would download that. If you did not do any of those things, then that disc will come with the co-op and the extra DLC island. And by the way, Black, you ain't have no damn kids. It don't even matter. You just like to throw money at Sony, you whore. But
Fucking fanboy.
you slut, you whore. But
You bitch.
you malignant bitch. But so that's what's going on. If you have the PS5, and is it considered a PS5? Let me see. I ain't gonna check it. Fuck it. But
I don't know, man.
regardless of what it
I
is, you don't. What you get for the
yeah.
PS5 version is your question. Haptic feedback, better 3D processing, um, um, a higher frame rate. I'm sorry, not higher frame rate, higher resolution.
The only reason
And
I brought it up, it is not necessarily because I have an issue per se with the pricing. You know what I'm saying? Because they're giving you like a substantial update, like set of content with the expansion and stuff like that, right? I don't know why they made this shit so confusing, but it is what it is.
It's the inherited
Um,
flaw in their system. That's what's happening there. It's the problem with the if the PlayStation can't identify versions for the store, it's having trouble identifying versions.
Yeah, that was the only reason I wanted to bring it up because that was kind of my issue with it. Like as far as like getting back to the whole pay players from payers stuff, man, you know, I think people are blowing it a little bit out of proportion. You know what I'm saying? In terms of like, one expecting to get the shit for free, and two, complaining for how much you're actually getting with the director's cut version for the game for Ghost. For how much you're paying, dude. It baffles my mind, man. And see, it's not even just Ghost, man. It's like in general. You know what I'm saying? Like ever since Sony's been, you know, like selling their games for $70 and stuff like that. You know, people have been on this shit, yo. It's fucking, you know what I'm saying? And to me, it's a little bit baffling, you know. And I believe, as a matter of fact, I believe I made a video about this shit like a couple of months ago, you know, about the whole $70 thing. It's like, well, in my opinion, and this is just my perspective, you know, I I I'm not gonna sit here and say that I'm 100% happy for spending $70 for a game. $70 is still $70. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Am I gonna cry over it? No, it's just a $10 difference. My concern is, are they gonna take the money that the extra money that they're getting from these sales and put it back into making the games better? You know what I'm saying? That's what I care about. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I feel like people are focusing on the wrong things, in my opinion, personally.
You worry about the shave your beard. The wrong thing.
No, actually, I need to get a lineup. I might get one this week.
This nigga look like a Philly.
Actually, fuck it. I'm gonna go tomorrow.
He look like a Philly nigga, yo.
Ew.
He said ill. that nigga said ill.
Ew.
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 You know what? I have to say that we got a bonus subject to talk about before we end it in 8 minutes. And that subject is about. It kind of correlates to this, but the subject is actually about indie games being treated like shit from Sony. Pablo, what you think about that, yo?
Indie games being treated like shit.
And indie game
in what way?
developers.
I need a little context.
Say again?
I need a little context, like how they being treated like shit.
So there was an indie developer. You can go ahead. Yeah, no,
no,
you
go
ahead,
on.
This
go
was
on.
your
no,
shit.
No. That was yours. I didn't do this. Well,
Yeah, nigga, this was your fucking shit,
you're
man.
right. Go on though. Go on. I've been talking a lot.
No, there was an indie developer who came out and he was basically complaining about the fact that he had to pay $25,000 or whatever the case to get his game visible on the PlayStation.
Uh,
And a lot of people have been talking about how Sony is kind of like, treating the indie developers like shit, and you got to pay money to advertise to get your game on their stuff. Okay, anyway, there's your context.
so that easily, I'm guessing it's Xbox fanboys getting mad at this or whatever. Every company does this. Microsoft does it. Nintendo does it. It's just like a regular thing. Steam does it. You know, I don't know if they charge the same amount. For every developer, I don't know how much it is. It's probably different for different tiers of like developers in the industry. But like, boo hoo, like cry me a river, bro. Like, make a good game and you get that money back. As simple as that.
Now, Sony mentioned this. Sony said that their staff for indie games is woefully like understaffed. You know what I'm saying? They're working on trying to get it because, Jason Schreier kind of says this shit too. He's like, oh, well, they're focused on blockbuster games. But correct me if I'm wrong, Pablo and Ken. When they do a state of play, what's the first fucking thing that they show before they show the main attraction?
Indies, bro.
Fucking indies. Indies out
And
the fucking
people
ass.
bitch about that too, man.
Every time. Where's the big games, right? This is what they said, right? That's what they said.
Yeah.
Not only that, but I was talking to Ken And I was just kind of talking to Kim while I was still kind of browsing, YouTube or whatever. And their first thing was Streets of Rage 4, which is a fucking indie game, yo. I'm tired of these people, yo. I'm sick of them. I'm sick of them.
That's a good game, though.
It is though. I'm not gonna lie, yo. That
No,
shit
I'm
is a good
not
game,
saying
though.
that it's not. But the question here is that they keep saying that Sony's not supporting indie games. What the fuck is that? It was front and center.
Bro, the PlayStation 4, like when it first came out, people were literally calling it an indie station, like Indie Station 4, like. So like now they don't care about indies like anymore. Like, come on, bro. Like they were literally thriving off of indies like the first 2 years of its life cycle for the PS4. So I mean, people just trying to like anything that's to do negatively with Sony, like fanboys on the other side, they're gonna like want to like throw jabs at it and shit. They always gonna complain about shit. Like Sony fans aren't mad at this.
No, because we already know what it is, and
like,
then you gotta look at it like this, flat out. When the PlayStation 3, when you translate it to PS3 to PS4, right? You had The Last of Us, of course, the Uncharted games, but that was pretty much it. Sony is consistently making crazy ass fucking games, which they have to put on the forefront of their store, along with Call of Duty and Mortal Kombat and Guilty Gear and all this other stuff. How are you gonna put a fucking $2 fucking indie game in front of those? You're gonna have to pay to do that shit. Furthermore, I am so fucking tired of the indie scene with your 8-bit fucking games. I'm sick of it. I am 27 years over that shit. I really am.
Maybe he should go to Microsoft. I mean, you get games for free over there apparently, so he probably can get his games for free on that.
You know what? I'm glad you mentioned that. He gonna say, "Oh, platform that doesn't have that doesn't have Game Pass. We sold like 50, 60, 70 times more. Then stay your fucking ass over there. Then you don't have to pay $25,000 either. Stay your ass over there. Then stay there. If it's so minuscule, stay the fuck over there. Then."
I wanted to mention this too, man, because there was the guy who who was complaining about that shit, but then there was another dude who came out right behind him, and he was like, yo, I got my shit on the PlayStation Store, and 50% of my sales are from PlayStation, yo.
People were like, well, he was an ex PlayStation Studio person or whatever the fuck it was. That's what they said. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, who to believe? I'm sure that there's room for improvement anywhere, but yo, I'm not going to.
Wait, his game is out already? Like it's there on the store?
No, supposedly what was going on with the guy that was complaining? He says that number one, we can't edit our game once it's on the store, like change the price. Sony doesn't. It takes like a month or two for Sony to even reach out to them, which is why Sony said that they were understaffed, and that's why it's taking so long. You're going against the heavy hitters on the stores. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to exclude Sony's exclusives, but you still got to compete with fucking Assassin's Creed and Call of Duty and now Battlefield and all those other fucking games. And to be honest with you, maybe, just maybe, on the PlayStation platform, they are expecting a certain quality. So if your game ain't up to snuff, maybe it was put on there. It doesn't guarantee that your game is going to be sold. It doesn't.
See, I think people are forgetting this shit too, man. Like Sony's position. You know what I'm saying? They are literally the market leader in the console space. You know what I'm saying? And people have this expectation that whatever games that they have and show, that shit's they gotta be on their fucking A game. You know what I'm saying? They can't be putting this little bullshit out there. You know what I'm saying? So, bro, yeah, if you want your shit to be up there, man, you gotta fucking pay. It is what it is.
And we're gonna end with that, man. Like, it's nothing more to say about it. This was a bonus topic. Flat out, like, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the bitching and complaining altogether in general. It really is stupid. It's dumb. And the funny thing is, as much as people complain about this shit, yo, it's not indicative of sales. You know what I mean? So like the same thing with what do you call that shit again? What's that game? MLB. everybody thought that it going to Game Pass was going to do significant numbers, and it actually ranked on the top 10 on Xbox Live as a purchasable game. Even though Game Pass was still there, and people still decided to buy it. Furthermore, when I went to visit Ken, and he had a friend that's all gun-ho on Xbox, not all
That
Xbots,
motherfucker doesn't even want a PlayStation.
not all
He said,
at
"Fuck
all,
PlayStation."
not all Xbots want Game Pass. It's not hard to believe. But yo, I'm glad you guys came and rocked with us on this 4th of July. I really appreciate it. I really, Pablo, thank you for jumping in. Really appreciate
bro.
it, making that shit livelies. I really appreciate it. He said sometimes Twitter make me sick. You ain't fucking lying. Yo, it does. It does. Sometimes you gotta close. Sometimes you gotta close that fucking app, yo. It's too much. I just saw one before I close out. I'm sitting there.
Close that shit.
I'm sitting there scrolling, right? And there's a caption. I'll put it. Yo, I'm trying to tell you, yo. You better join that Discord, yo.
Yo, Devil Shooter, you not hear what the fuck we just said? He said, "I'd rather games go everywhere."
It won't. So, all right. So on Twitter, right? Somebody posted a picture of his aunt. He says, "I was dancing with my aunt on the 4th of July, and it's seemingly semen on her leg." This is why I'm closing out Twitter. I'm not doing this. What a horrible place. I mean, I remember people say Twitter was toxic, but man, that is an understatement. What a toxic fucking hole that is. But don't forget to subscribe. We just got a new subscriber. I'm not sure who it was, but thank you, whoever it was, to subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate that shit. Thank you for making the dream work. And I hope you guys have a wonderful 4th of July. I hope it's not raining so you guys can like really go OD on the fireworks. And y'all take it easy, yo. Stay safe.
Yeah, I wanted to mention one thing before we
My
go.
God, every
Make sure
time,
you,
man. Jesus.
Hey, man, I gotta put it in here, man, at the end of the show. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, handle Culture of PS, or you could just type in PlayStation Culture. If you want to jump into Discord, man, jump in there. We're always in there talking about this shit, man. If you want to know about all those inside jokes, that's where we're at. and the link is in the on the page on the YouTube. Okay, I'm done. Fuck it. End the show, man.
Nigga, the next time, yo, I'm gonna need you to say this shit before I close the fuck out. I'm tired of closing out, yo. You open the door again. Close that shit. The AC is on.
No, wait.
The fucking AC is on, man. You keep opening this fucking door, yo. Hold on, I'm gonna post that shit on Twitter. On not Twitter, Discord. What a nasty, horrible woman. Anyway, peace out, guys.
All right, guys. Peace.